Hi there, and welcome to this walkthrough of how to get all of the Chaos Emeralds inside of Emerald Hill Zone, which is the first level of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 here for Sega Genesis. So the first thing that you want to do is come into this options menu, and you want to make sure that you're selected to Sonic alone. The default is Sonic and Tails, and Tails just gets in the way, and we don't want to play as Tails alone because we want to be able to activate Super Sonic, which obviously you can't do if you're not playing as him. So we're going to pick Sonic alone and get going here. So how to do this, you might be asking, is you have to get access to the special stages in the game, and to do that you need to go ahead and collect 50 rings and then find what's called a star post and jump into it. And after you do that, you'll see a ring of stars is going to appear, and then we can go inside to the special stage and go have a lot of fun collecting rings and doing all the things that we would like to do. So what I'm just doing now is collecting all of the rings that we need to be able to do this. We're going to go on a little trip here on the spring, and the first star post that we need is actually, you can kind of see the platform on my left. We have to go up there. Now it's really important to make sure that you do these star posts in order. If you activate the star post further on in the level from this one, the star post is negated, so you're not able to use it to get into the special stage. And really, you kind of have to be a little bit perfect, because if you don't use all 7 star posts, there's actually 8, but one of them I have no idea how to get to. But if you don't use all of your star posts, you're never going to be able to get all 7 Chaos Emeralds before leaving Emerald Hill Zone. So yeah, make sure that you do this one first, if that's what you're after. So this is the special stage. You can see we're running down a track, and we're collecting rings and avoiding those black bomb guys. They will actually cause you to lose 10 rings for every one that you hit. Each special stage is divided up into 3 different sections, and each section requires you to get a specific number of rings in order to proceed to the next. So if you're ever short in your number of rings, you're not going to be able to move on, but if you are successful in these special stages, you're rewarded with one of the 7 Chaos Emeralds. So for example here, we've met all of the requirements, and we've got our first Chaos Emerald, so pretty easy. So that's our first one, and we have 6 more to go. We can get 2 more Chaos Emeralds in this first area, and we can get 4 in the second part of Emerald Hill Zone. So let's jump down, and we're going to head back the way... Oh, I didn't want the feet. The shoes, I should say. But what are you going to do? I guess we can just kind of go slowly here. I say slowly because it's not as if there aren't a lot of rings. Like, there are definitely lots of rings to gather and to get. But certainly don't want to miss an opportunity here by being, you know, irresponsible. Okay, so we've got lots of rings. So you can see right here we're back towards the beginning of the level. So we want to head back the way that we were just going to our second star post, which is just over this bridge here. Right up here. Okay, so that's number 2. So off we go. We've achieved our 50 rings, jumped in the stars, and now we're off. So same deal, 3 different sections with ring requirements. So our first thing is to get 50 rings here, so let's do that. And what's nice is they tell you how many rings you have left, so you've got an idea of how far you really have to go. And you've really got to love the 90s lingo, too. Oh yeah, and you can also go all the way around the half pipe. As you can see, you can go up onto the, well, like, it's almost like the ceiling. It's not really a ceiling because it's not closed, but whatever. But yeah, anywhere there's rings you can go, essentially. See, I can go around the world. I used to call that around the world. It's not at all what it's called. Some kind of yo-yo trick I could never do in real life. But yeah. So you want to avoid the middle section here, because there's just bomb guys after bomb guys. Still bomb guys in the middle. And there's our last set of rings. And our Chaos Emerald number 2. Nice shade of purple, I might add. And there's our continue. So that's cool. Very good. So we've got our second Chaos Emerald here. So now we're going to continue through the level. You might notice I'm taking these loops a little bit slow, because if you go too fast, you hit that red spring there, and that sucks. And there's a little secret here. So you want to come through here, and you get a free life. So that's kind of fun. Get our box of 10 rings here. I guess they're monitors, really. I always used to call them boxes. Now to our right is the end of the level, so we don't want to go that way. Instead, though, what we'll do is take a little trip through this little track here, and through our loop-de-loop. Right on top there is our third star post. So we're gonna go, and I missed entirely, but that moving platform is our target. Okay, there we go. Now you gotta be careful here, because there's some bad guys that float around, and if you fall and you don't land properly, you can end up accidentally losing all your rings, so you don't want to do that. And there we go, we got 100 rings, so got a free life. But yeah, we're gonna try special stage number 3 here. Grab all of our Chaos Emeralds. And it should be fun. So this section is just alternating between rings and bad guys. It's kind of like the theme of the level, so to speak. Almost. Yeah, this level is one of my favorites because you get a ton of rings, and it's just lines of rings rather than groups of rings, so it's a lot of fun. And you'll see as we get on in these that the levels get harder and harder. They make you jump out of the way of bad guys. Okay, so that first line is 5, and every line after this is 10. So, for example, here, the next, we are at 95 rings, so we're going to jump at 105. And then here, we're going to stay in the middle. There's bad guys on the walls all throughout this part, and then we're going to jump here to avoid those guys. And there we go, we finished that section with tons of extras. So, 160 rings now. Essentially, we want to jump through those circles and then get all the rings in the line. So the first 2 are on the right, the next one's going to be on the left, and the last one is back on the right again. There we go, and now we're just going to stay in the middle here, and if you're super brave like me, you can stay right in the middle and not get hit by any of those bombs. And there you go, we've made it to our third Chaos Emerald. So as I mentioned, you can only get 3 in this level, and now we're all set to move on to the second part of Emerald Hill Zone. So you could take the spring and be brave here, which is fun, but I'm not particularly brave, so I'm just going to come back down here and go back through our loop-de-loop and zoom to the end of the level. We're going to avoid that spring. And there we go. So we finished the first part of Emerald Hill Zone, the first act. And we're going to head into the second one now, where there are 4 more special stages that we can do. Alright, so to start here, again, you want to try to be as careful as possible. The rings in this level are they're not scarce by any means, but they're kind of grouped together a little bit, a little bit differently. So you don't want to have to be running all over the place looking for big groups of rings, but since I suck, we're going to have to do that just a little bit. So yeah, we'll get these guys here, and then we're going to go up here instead of down, and you'll see why. So we come down the hill here, and we're going to find some bad guys, and see that little lift up there? We want to take that. So we're going to come up here, and though it doesn't look like we're moving too far, we've gone up. So here we're going to grab these guys, and there's actually a star post right below us, but we want to get to the one that's actually over there, and we missed. So let's try that again. Yeah, so we want to get to the star post that's on that little platform there, and sometimes you almost need to take a bit of a run to get a little bit of a momentum going. Wow, I suck right now. Okay. Okay. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble with this. There we go. Okay, so again, same rules as last time. If you miss the star post, you cannot access it later if you activate any of the ones further on in the level from it. So make sure that you get this one first. So same deal as last time. 3 stages in your special stage. Trying to get as many rings as possible. Avoid bomb guys, etc. You guys know the drill by now. And now there's going to be this terrible line of bad guys that come in the middle. So you're going to want to jump back and forth from the sides. And here we're going to wait for that bomb wall to pass. And there's going to be another little group of them on the left, so we don't want to jump too soon. But yeah, so that's how you kind of maneuver through that part. So avoid the middle. So here again, avoiding the middle area. And try to line ourselves up with the center here for our last little run towards our Chaos Emerald. And yeah, there we go. So easy enough. There's our 4th one. 3 more to go. Perfect. So we've got what we came for, so let's jump back down over here. We're gonna grab these, all these nice rings. Now what would be super great is if we could just jump down to that star post, but alas, there is stuff in the way that's gonna prevent us from being able to do that for the moment. So we need to go and find a couple of more rings so that we can finish this. So there's 50, 54 to be exact. So let's go back. And we'll go do this. So our next star post is right here, so we'll pop right in here. And that guy can shoot us all he wants. We've already activated the stars. So for me, personally, this is the special stage that makes or breaks me. And it's tricky because you're only dealing with groups of rings rather than lines of rings, so it's easy not to get as many rings from those little groups as you possibly can. And what I would recommend is kind of maneuvering back and forth through the groups of rings so that you don't just get the rings in a straight line. You can actually get quite a few more if you wiggle, if that makes sense. So here, this part's super important. If you kind of miss this part, you're kind of screwed. So make sure that you get as many as you can there. And again, stay the hell out of the middle. That's where all the bad guys are. When in doubt, stay out of the middle. Okay, so this next part looks like a tall order. 160 rings all the way up from 108. But what's nice about this part is that there's no bad guys for a while. So what you're doing is alternating between the center and then the edges, or each side. And each time the group of rings gets higher and higher up on the half pipe, even as high as on top. And again here, in case you've not done well getting rings from groups, you gotta do super well in that last little spin there. They throw you a bit of a bone. So there you go, there's number 5. So easy enough. So now that we've got these, we can go off to find our last two. So we can jump down here, and we don't have to do too much backtracking. I'm just trying to wait till that guy shoots his little fireball so that we don't run into it. Actually, we might need to do a little bit of backtracking. Yeah, we totally do. Alright, so back we go. We're going to go back and collect the same 50 rings we collected before. Just because we love backtracking by now, I would say, based on past practice. So let's go do that. It's not too far to go, really. The trick here is to not get hit, which is actually a lot harder than you might think. Ah, shit. Okay, so we got hit. Man down, man down, man down. So what we can do is go collect all the other rings that we didn't get yet. So let's go do that. Hopefully there will be enough for us. If we don't run into anything too problematic, we might be okay. Oh, jeez. Okay. So things are not going as nicely as we might have hoped. But alas, we can still work it out. We're squabbling for every last pittance of rings we can find here. And I think we'll be okay, because we can still go up to that platform where we got some rings before. I hate getting the shoes by accident here. So let's go up here. There might be enough. We might have some luck. 49. Really? Okay, well, we will go on a quest to find one last ring. We're just going to carefully avoid the goal post. Or the star post, I should say. Eh. Kill that guy. Okay. Now let's try to get back over here without dying a horrible death. Okay, there we go. So we've got our 6th post here. Let's go in here. That was a lot of work, but it was worth it. You'll see when we get supersonic how much fun this is. Okay, so this level is a lot of back and forth, side to side, and avoiding those bomb guys like the plague. And as much as you can, try to look ahead and see where those rings are going to come from. Okay. This is the fun part. So again, takes a little bit of practice, perhaps a little bit of a gentle hand, but you gotta make sure that you get all of those rings as much as you can. So we need 140 rings, so we're gonna do our best to get those. We're gonna stay on the right here. And we're gonna get some of these little twisty rings as well. And we're gonna stay on the right. Or the left, I should say. And there we go. We've made it. One more little leg here and we're good to go. So 210 rings. And here, you want to kind of make a small jump if you can, so that you get the rings after you pop out. And then there are just secret circles of bombs coming from around every corner. So it's just making sure that you jump. And don't get hit here. It comes by so fast. Like, this level's very quick, fast-paced. Okay, so there's number 6. We've got one more left, and it is going to be the very last goalpost in this area before we would get to the fight with Dr. Robotnik. So we're going to avoid this monkey, try not to die, kill these guys, get our rings. Now, we don't really have to backtrack here too much to get any rings. We should be able to collect nearly enough getting over in this general direction. What you don't want to do here is go too fast, because the goalpost is actually right there. So you want to make sure that you do slow down a little bit. We're going to go on a little bit of an adventure. That little waterfall that we were just at is a pit, by the way, so don't fall down there unless you're looking for trouble. So we'll go back this way again. We'll head up instead. Oh, good, invincibility. Love me some invincibility when I'm nervous about losing rings at this stage in the game. Okay. And we're gonna just go through this loop here that should give us the final 5. Perfect. Okay. So let's go to our final battle with the special stage. In we go. Alright. This stage is a bit of a shit show, so you gotta do your best to hang on to every ring you can, that's for sure. And here they're pulling out all their tricks. They're bringing back the line in the middle to get you. Alright, we missed one bunch there, but we're good. Okay, 150, we could do this. Okay, so here we're going back and forth. And then eventually this level is going to try to blatantly lie to you. It gets you used to going back and forth. And then it tricks you. So here, we want to stay on the left the whole time. Until you can see again. And then it's going back and forth again. Alright, so this is the last stretch. We need 190 rings, and all they're going to do is give you rings that are randomly floating around like this. So you gotta do your best, just move around, get as many as you can. And then, it's called avoidance. You gotta do your best. There's, ooh shit, and you don't do that. You try your very best not to get hit by things. As much as you can. Try to keep as many rings above 190 as you can. Every time you get hit, you lose 10 rings. So it's really just... You can probably learn where all of them are. Like where the groups come and stuff, but it's tricky. Okay. Hooray! Look at all the nice lights they've put up for us. And the last one is a terrible gray color. So there it is. We've got our 7 Chaos Emeralds before leaving Emerald Hill Zone. And now Sonic can change into Supersonic. So what I'm going to do for you guys now is collect 50 rings and jump, which is the special formula to get us a Supersonic. And then we're going to go and kick Robotnik's ass in that form for fun, because why not? We worked awfully hard to see this, so why wouldn't we go about that? So, gonna come back here, grab some rings. So you'll notice we're going all the way almost to the beginning of the level again, just for fun. And all we need is that box of 10 right here. We're gonna jump. Oh, and look, there's our friend. So now we're invincible. We can move super fast, which is super fun. Can go in all the areas of the level we haven't seen yet. Oh, okay. Supersonic is not having a fast day today. Alright. And there's our goalpost we just were at. Oh, and look. Here comes Dr. Robotnik. Oh, hey, friend. And we're just gonna stand in his car and kill him. And there, he's dead. So Supersonic, as I mentioned, is super useful, but also should be used with responsibility. And there we go. So there we have it, folks. That is how to get all 7 Chaos Emeralds before you exit Emerald Hill Zone. So I hope very much that you've enjoyed this, and I wish you the very best of luck in your own endeavors to achieve this.